What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, guys. We back here in the Netherlands. We checking out 10 things you didn't know about the Netherlands, and finna go ahead and wave all the way back. I don't think I ever done this video, so we finna see. This is like top list or something like that. The channel that this is on. I don't believe I've seen this, and I've done a lot of Netherlands videos. So, but we checking this out. 10 things you didn't know. Finna see if I didn't know these things. So. Y'all hit that subscribe button.
To mind when they think of the country. For most people outside of the Netherlands, the first thing that comes to mind when they think of the country
bicycles?
Is being stoned to death
while
sitting in a coffee shop eating pop brownies. But the truth is that the Netherlands has a lot more to offer than just that. From tulip fields to hagelslag, the Netherlands has a rich history and culture.
I still got some of that in my cabinet.
These are the 10 things you didn't know about the Netherlands. The Netherlands is truly the land of giants, with average heights of women being 171 centimeters, or 5'6" tall, and men standing an average of 184 centimeters, or 6 feet tall.
Got some tall
the Dutch
people.
are the tallest people in the world, and scientists have been studying just why that is. One thing that is interesting is that the Dutch experienced a total gain of 20 centimeters, or 8 inches, in the last 150 years. Compared to 6 centimeters for Americans, or 2.3 inches. And the stunning fact is that prior to this growth spurt, Americans were actually taller. There have been many theories as to why this is the case, but most scientists posit natural selection as the reason, which explained simply means naturally tall people seeking out other naturally tall people and having many offspring.
Many tall kids.
Offspring that are tall.
Probably taller than them, but I seen they actually got like a little surgery now to make yourself a little taller. This one dude was like 5'5". He did the surgery to make him like 5'10" or something. They added like 5-6 inches to him. That's craziness. But it looked like it's gonna take him a minute before he can like actually walk. But I just think that's crazy. You can be short now. They got tall surgery. You know, they got surgery to make you tall out here.
Over time, the majority of
so
Dutch
fret
people
not if you're short.
taller than most people, because that is the overwhelming genetic trend. Interestingly enough, this is leading to Dutch people asking for more legroom on planes and greater door heights to complement their gigantic stature. Everyone talks about how harsh the German language sounds, but it really doesn't hold a candle to Dutch in that department. Most people have never been exposed to the Dutch language, so they don't really know what it sounds like. But the truth is, if you're not Dutch and you have a sore throat, you might want to stay away from those Dutch lessons, at least until you've recovered. And even if you don't know the languages, you can hear the difference. Compare these examples in German and Dutch in a sentence meaning, good afternoon, how are you doing? First the German, guten Tag, wie geht es Ihnen? With the Dutch, goedendag, hoe gaat het met u? You see,
totally different.
It's pronounced and Dutch.
Sorry if I'm doing that too loud. I can't even.
It can get really tricky as a foreigner, for example.
Like I'm trying to get something out my throat.
A G together with a CH sound, such as in the Dutch word geschiedenis, meaning history. Compare that with the German Geschichte, and you'll see why the myth of the harsh German language is largely fictional. Still, if you decide to learn the Dutch language, make sure you're not sick and that you're ready to give your throat and mouth a real beating.
I ain't gonna lie, I felt that all up in my throat. I'm glad I don't have a sore throat, because that would have hurt. I ain't even gonna lie.
The Dutch language has real flavor.
Not the swearing.
Which is why when the Dutch swear, they do it with style. Maybe one of the most unusual qualities of the Dutch language is that when the Dutch swear, some of the strongest curses are those related to sickness and disease. Kanker, cholera, typhus, Mongol, or cancer, cholera, typhus, mongoloid. With the last one referring to someone with Down syndrome, the Dutch really love their diseases, sometimes used in incredibly flexible contexts, such as krijg de kanker, meaning get cancer, or even when it's not an insult, such as in kankerlekker, literally cancer tasty, but meaning good tasting, or sometimes even very attractive.
My goodness.
Liar is a slang form of the word leider, which means sufferer, and can be used as an
liar. That sounds like the word we use for liar, that you lying.
Or in conjunction with fabulous diseases such as kankerleier, which means, you guessed it, cancer sufferer. No one really knows
that is harsh.
Diseases in their language, but you have to give it to them. It really makes them stand out.
Yeah, that's very harsh right there.
Fixated on the status quo
or normalcy.
There's a simple but common expression in the Netherlands that goes like this: "Doe normaal." literally
Do
mean
normaal.
do normal, but translates better as just act normally. Bragging, showing off too much, being overly
can't
emotional
do that.
or expressive in public, or acting in a weird or foreign manner, all of these things are frowned upon, because at the end of the day, the Dutch people are pretty conformist, but probably not so much as to give the Germans a run for their money. Still,
Always about the
no one
Germans.
wants to be seen as weird. Do normaal is sort of a way of life for the Dutch people, and it's one you best
Do
live by
normaal.
if you want to live in the Netherlands. For most people, it's hard to think of a national
Hagelslag.
dish that comes to mind when they
Hagelslag.
think of the Netherlands. And the truth is, you probably won't find one that is truly unique in terms of conventional food. But there is one food item you won't find anywhere else, and that is hagelslag, or literally blow of hail in English. The food is both simple and elegant, with the key element being sprinkles, most often
love
of the
sprinkles.
chocolate variety,
I actually still have some of these. Shout out to my guy Peter. I appreciate it. Might have to
on a
get some
bread
more.
roll, sometimes combined with butter. You see, in the United States and other places, you only put sprinkles on ice cream, but the Dutch
This is
are
true,
ahead of the
this is
game
true.
and have gone one step further. And hagelslag is more than just a food.
Hagelslag.
It's part of the Dutch essence, because why else would they take a beschuit or a biscuit and slap on pink or blue
Biscuit.
sprinkles when a new baby has arrived, with pink for girls and blue for boys? This tradition is a testament to the importance of hagelslag in the Dutch culture and heritage, and shows that when it comes to the Netherlands, there's just no separating the food and its people. The Germans and
Nice.
the Dutch have always had an odd relationship, and up until very recently, it's been a rather
Hey, right,
bad one.
they
These
neighbors.
relations were particularly under strain after World War
Oh,
II,
yeah. Dang.
since the German invasion against the Dutch was met with some of the fiercest resistance and greatest resentment of any country, and for years
God dang.
there was
They
visceral
were
hatred
dropping them
felt
missiles.
towards the Germans. A Guardian article relates the following. Commentators in the British media may indulge in a fair
the
share
hell?
of German bashing, but that's nothing to what I grew up with.
Dang.
Growing up in the Netherlands in the 70s and 80s, anti-German feelings seemed as natural as cheese, skating, and gay rights. Germans really were the other, humorless closet fascists who had destroyed the magnificent port of Rotterdam, then occupied and
Rotterdam.
pillaged our country for 5 years, murdering 80% of our Jews. But times have changed.
Yeah, that's
and
gonna be hard to
increasingly,
forgive
the Dutch
that.
have warmer feelings towards the Germans than ever before. As the saying goes, time heals all wounds, even those apparently of the greatest conflict to have ever occurred.
Yeah, that's true. Dang, that's
Even
tough.
people outside of the Netherlands
Geert
have heard of the iconoclastic politician Geert Wilders, the founder
I
and
forgot
leader
that.
of the Partij voor vrijheid, the Party for Freedom, or PVV as it's usually
PVV.
referred to.
Oui,
Wilders
oui.
is a controversial political figure in the Netherlands, best known for his opposition to the religion of Islam, having gone so far as to have suggested the banning of the Quran in the Netherlands. Because of his
wow.
views on Islam, Wilders is under 24-hour protection by armed bodyguards, since his views put his life in danger. Some of
Whoa,
his
that is
proposals have
crazy.
included, but are not limited to, placing a 5-year moratorium on the immigration of any non-Western foreigner, and replacing Article 1 of the Dutch Constitution guaranteeing equality under the law to one stressing the cultural dominance of Christian and humanist culture.
That's crazy. I couldn't imagine having security for 24 hours cause my life in danger. That is wild.
Dutch people tend to
My
have mixed
goodness.
feelings about Wilders, because apart from his views
The
on
way he
Islam
looking
in
right
Europe,
now, it look like he's
not much
hard to
else stands
trust.
out about him, except for his platinum blonde dyed slick back hair maybe. The
He
Dutch
give me Trump vibes out here.
people have always had the reputation
Not
of
the
being
slave
savvy
trade.
merchants and businessmen, and when it came to the Atlantic slave trade, this was no exception. One of the primary centers of this
Ooh.
thriving business was the so-called Slavenkust, or
Slavenkust.
Slave Coast, which refers to the
Slavenkust.
numerous trading posts of the Dutch West India Company, which were found in present-day Togo, Benin, Nigeria, and Ghana. The main purpose of these outposts was to supply African slaves to the plantation colonies in the Americas. Fortunately, slavery was officially abolished in 1863 in the Netherlands, and with it went the country's participation in the Atlantic slave trade. Parts of the Netherlands aren't really the
Fries
Netherlands.
land.
In fact,
A lot
one
of
unique
fries.
region that is
Good
technically
fries.
part of the Netherlands, but has its own culture and history, is Friesland.
Friesland.
is located
My fault. I said Friesland. I thought they were finna be talking about the fries.
about as north as you can get in
Friesland.
the Netherlands, and is probably best known for the fact that it's home to its own unique and special language, closely related to Dutch, but also different enough to warrant separate classification. The unique status of Frisian makes the people in the province who speak it outliers in Dutch society, And Frisian is also the most closely related language to English in the entire world, followed
Wow.
by Dutch as a close second. Usually everyone thinks of the
Explorers.
Portuguese or the Spanish when it comes to exploration of the world's oceans and discovering new lands. But depending on how you measure it, the Dutch may have been the greatest explorers ever. Master shipbuilders and cartographers, the Dutch managed to be the first Europeans to discover such far-flung places as Svalbard, Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Sakhalin, and Easter Island.
Dang, they
In fact, the Dutch were
discovered a
successful in
lot.
almost mapping out 3/4 of the entire Australian coastline, though traditionally the first
Pretty
European
interesting.
explorers of Australia are thought to be the English. Say what you want, but the legacy of this pioneering spirit lives on in the Dutch people today and makes this small nation the amazing country it is. For more top lists like this,
Yeah, this is some interesting stuff. I felt like the top 5 things were definitely things I did not know. That was different. That was different. You know, being tall, the sprinkles, all those things. I knew those things, but this was interesting. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. There's some more things that I need to know about that I don't know, because I know I've done a lot of the Netherlands before, but I enjoyed this. I hope y'all did as well. So y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations, and y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.